Zambia Blog Talk Radio.
Do you want to promote your business on Zambia Broad Talk Radio? Yes, that's right. Live on Zambia Broad Talk Radio. To book your spot, just make a donation by picking from the following categories. To get started, just call or WhatsApp the number on the screen and you'll be good to go. Live on Zambia Broad Talk Radio every Saturday for 1 full month. And it will stay on the recorded shows.
Hello. Welcome to the show, and we do appreciate you joining us this Saturday, October the 8th. And wherever you are joining us, it's a good morning for those of us in North America, and good afternoon, Europe, and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. You can follow us on ZBTR TV on YouTube so that you're able to get the notifications whenever we go live, so that you don't have to worry about whether you missed the show or not. We have a great show for you today, and let me introduce my co-host, Mr. K. Hello.
Hello, Uncle Nathan. Hi, ZBTR family.
How's it going in Lusaka? What's the weather like today?
It's okay. It's quite hot, actually. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
I mean, it's October. It's supposed to be
Yeah.
hot, my friend.
It's summer. Yeah, but we're enjoying.
You're looking forward to the show today, dissecting the IMF loan and 2023 budget. We're waiting for our guest to log in, and before he does that, Mr. K, you have some information to share with us?
Yeah, so actually, today being the 8th of October is exactly 30 days to my birthday, I'd say. Yeah, so it's just under a month to go. And so I have a tradition, as mentioned even last week. I go running on my birthday. So usually I do 42 kilometers, but this year I decided to take it a notch higher. So I'm going to do 50 kilometers on my birthday. So yeah, it's going to be crazy and challenging. Somebody might be wondering to say, hey, why 50 kilometers? Are you turning 50? Not really. So I'm turning 29, but the additional 31 kilometers is to just encourage other individuals out there in Zambia, as well as across the globe, to say fitness is very important, and we need to keep healthy and fit. Hence, the 31 is for the 31 people that I would like to join the running, or rather the fitness bandwagon, from my birthday, which is this November, to 2023 November. So I would like to have recruited about 31 motivated people that would be keeping fit seriously, as well as just recruit other people. So basically, yeah, that's what's happening this November. My birthday is on the 7th, but the plan is to run on the 6th, which is a Sunday. Yeah, with a few friends that would tag along to just support, and virtually as well. If you are not in a position where you could join me in physically to run, so that we run together, or rather you just support, you could run virtually, or you could support virtually wherever you are. Yeah, let's run and let's be fit and healthy and be better people.
50 kilometers, Mr. K, that's a lot of running. You want to kill people, my friend?
So the 50, actually, let me even clarify. The 50 is for me, but then whichever distance you're able to cover, just in order to support. If you can do 2, if you can do 1, whichever distance you can cover, that's fine. And as well as just supporting. So for those that we're going to run with, We're going to have an escort vehicle or two, so people could
Oh,
just
okay.
be, yes, so people could
So
just
that
be in the
so
vehicle,
that
then they're cheering.
those that
They're,
fall apart like me, they are picked up by the car.
yes, so you could have, we're going to have some fruits and refreshments. Yeah, just so that we will have fun together, because people usually they'll be like, no, I'm unable to run, so I can't join. So it's not about running. If I'm the only person that's going to run, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's me
Mm-hmm.
to to kill myself on that day, but just supporting and motivating one another.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yes. Okay, Mr. K. That is great, and we look forward to that situation. And I hope we can cover you live and see
That
what
would be
is
awesome.
the.
Yeah. To just make sure that this person is running and not just sleeping somewhere and saying we're running.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. It's important to do that.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely.
It's
Yes.
important to do that. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, everybody. We're waiting for Dr. Mbewe here to connect and to join us. Just help him out, Mr. K. He's having some technical issues there.
Technical
Yeah,
issues.
just help him out over there as we get ready. Okay, my thing is also beginning to act up here. All right, everybody, we're waiting for Dr. Mbewe to log in so that we have a discussion and concerning Zambia's economy and where things are going on. Some people were celebrating the Zambia getting or being approved for the IMF $1.3 billion loan. Others were getting upset about it. And that's what was going on. So we are going to discuss that and then see how things go from there. We're trying to get Dr. Mbewe here and see how things are going there. So, Mr. K, I was asking you about before we went live. I was asking you about some of the headline news. What is the situation? What are we learning? What are we hearing about these girls who were abducted and now they are free? Where do things stand?
Okay, so so as things stand, the families are excited that they have their girls, though there was some news to say some parents actually were not even aware that their children had been abducted.
How?
So
How?
about nine of the girls. So these are girls that were in college. The parents
Okay.
thought the girls are in school, not knowing that they had actually been abducted. So the question is then, parents, how come they don't check up on the children whilst in college or university? Yeah.
What's the
So
longest
how?
period? What's the longest period we know
Oh,
what's the minimum period we know if those girls were in abduction, in captivity, or
mm,
whatever the word is?
it spans from, I think, three. There's 3 months. Is there a week or something? Maybe a week. I stand to be corrected on that one. Yeah, but
So for
somewhere there.
3 months, your child is in college and you do not communicate with them.
Yeah, so those are some of the questions that are being asked to say how come. Yeah, and those were nine. I heard nine girls. So
9 of
there's
those, the parents didn't know that
nine of
they
the
were missing.
13. Yeah, 9 of the 13. So that's one
Mm.
of the issues that are coming up. Then the other one is to say that no, some of the girls knew each other with the abductors here and there, but there the argument is that an enemy is within. So an enemy is not the person that you don't know. Yeah.
Mm.
So
That's
people are saying it was easy to lure some of the girls because this is a person that you know. This is a person you've been friends with. So he'll just tell you, hey, let's go here and there, but then the story changes. Yeah. So
mm.
those are some of the issues that are coming up.
Okay. Member of Parliament, what's his name? Who has been suspended for 30 days? What's the issue
Munia
there?
Zulu. Munia Zulu. So
He is MP for which area?
Yeah, Zulu.
Is he an independent PF or what?
Should be independent, really.
Okay, so what led to his suspension?
Yeah, so he gave a remark. So they were having the clip that I saw, they were having the usual discussions, or should I call
Mm-hmm.
them debates in parliament. And then, so he uttered to say, we're all adults in here. We all, he used the word, we all shave pubic hair. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so parliament didn't take that so well. The other members of parliament were to say, no, that's not the right word to use. It's a bit offensive, or rather, it's an insult. Yeah. So he was told to withdraw that statement in parliament by
Okay.
the speaker. Yeah. Then
Mm-hmm.
later on, it was issued that
Dr.
he
Mbewe,
was.
welcome.
Thank you. Hello.
You need to make some adjustments. You see the way you are.
Uh-huh.
All right, everybody. You can hear us properly, Dr. Mbewe.
I can hear you, although there are some echoes and double voices.
Okay, Kasuluba, let's do this. You and Kasuluba, please, you connect behind the scenes and resolve this issue, okay? So that we connect properly. Kasuluba, please help him out. All right, everybody, if you have questions and you'd like Dr. Mbewe to answer any of your questions, you can send in your comments there as we get ready for this discussion, and we shall be able to let Dr. Mbewe address your questions as we get ready for for this discussion. All right. Meanwhile, as we get ready, some of the questions is that Zambia keeps getting into debt. A friend of mine did ask me a question and say, what is the fuss about us, um, our loans and all that? Every country is in debt. Even the US is in debt. So we'll talk about all those things, and so that we are able to, understand how these things work. Economics and its jargon and its language, it's all just confusing and all those things. I always think, why don't we just speak in simple terminology, GDP, economic growth, all these things, londolole inifie, so that even an average person in Cherenge Minirunga understands. That's what I told Dr. Mbewe we are going to do today. Just speak in simple, everyday language, okay? And things like that. All right.
Okay,
Are we good to go?
Yeah, so we're just about.
Okay. He's still working on that. One of the things that we're going to do today is we have at the end of the show, we have association leaders who are going to come on and talk about some of the things that they are doing for preparations for independence. And then we shall go from there as we get ready to what? Okay, are we ready, sir? I can't hear you.
Yes, so we're good to go.
All right, Dr. Mbewe, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you, Bishop Nkama. How are you?
No, like you said, you're not a bishop. I'm also not a bishop. Ladies and gentlemen,
Those
Dr.
are
Richard.
titles which will come for you, whether you like it or not.
No, I won't take it until you pay me $1 million.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. My wife made an observation that says it looks like this is a week when you are having people who have been with the show, who were there at the beginning. Vavupe, yourself.
Yes.
You see, she remembers you.
She remembers me. Thank you very much. Pass my greetings to her.
So she said, oh, now you're having Dr. Mbewe also, who was there from the beginning. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Richard Mbewe is the managing partner and lead consultant at Atria Business Solutions. We shall put up his email address at the end of the discussion so that if you would like to get in touch with him concerning business issues, he's going to be able to help you. It's business, it's not free. That's what he does for a living. You need to make that clear when you're dealing with Zambians. If you're free, Our subject today is dissecting the IMF loan and 2023 budget. Dr. Mbewe, when you were trying to get yourself set up, I was saying to the audience, I said, you know, one of the things that I contend with a lot, this jargon, economics, GDP, economic growth, and all these things. Let's just speak in very simple language. Of late, since the UPND won elections, we've had the president, the finance minister use terminology, growing the economy, economic growth. What are they talking about? What is economic? How do you grow the economy? What is economic growth?
Before I go into that, let me give a small background. Personally, I'm a qualified chemical engineering. I've got a master's in chemical engineering.
Yes, sir.
From also Technical University. I've got a PhD in earth sciences in sustainable development, and I've got an MBA. I lived in Poland for 30 years, came back in 2010, and here still I am malingering in Zambia using our national service language.
What do you mean? What do you mean malingering? What does that mean?
That means you don't have any specific job to do. You are moving up and down. They are keeping you around. No, you are overeducated or you are old now. With the new Don government, their major argument is that you are old. It's time to give jobs to young people.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a story for another day.
All right.
But yes, when it comes to the jargon, that jargon is all over the world the same.
I know.
The intention is twofold. It is to, one, show that the speaker is very well versed in economic issues. And secondly, there is no any other way you can express those things. People who listen to that have to have a bit of some knowledge. Because if you go to the normal financial news, even on BBC World, even on CNN, worse still when you go to Bloomberg or CNBC, it is the same. They will always tell you about growth, the shockwaves. There they even come up with new things like that one. What was that recent thing? Expansionary something.
Expansionary monetary policy.
No, not that. Yeah, that it was. It meant that. Oh, quantitative easing.
Okay.
You remember they say quantitative easing. What does that mean? People will not get it, but they are saying that you reduce the quantity of money in the economy so that you make it easy to do business. Money easily becomes accessible, available, it is removed from the market, depending on what type of monetary policy you want to run. So coming to that thing, economic growth, GDP growth, they just mean one and the same thing, if one has to be specific. And please, my fellow economists, don't start saying, they are different. No, they are the same for people to understand. Otherwise, if we start going into the jargon explaining the difference, it will look a meager difference, and people start getting irritated that we are trying to boast that we have read books.
Yeah.
People know.
You see, Dr. Mbewe, sorry to catch, and that's what I don't want us to do on this show today. I don't want us to do that. I want the ordinary person, okay, citizens. You see, I'm so fired up of this discussion. Like my sister Agnes, she's saying, please address the issue of cost of living and Inchito. What is causing all those things? But let's not go there. I interrupted you to say the terminology, we are not interested. We want Mbewe to explain in the simplest terms so that my uncle Kashkish will understand what's happening in the economy. Go ahead.
Let's go ahead. Economic growth, as the name suggests, it means the economy growing.
Okay.
It's as simple as that.
How do you grow the economy? By borrowing?
Just a minute before you go there. As usual in economics. Then we come to its sister term,
Okay.
GDP growth.
What is that?
GDP growth is the same as economic growth.
Gross domestic product, whatever that
That is
means.
gross domestic product.
Mm.
What is gross domestic product? It is the sum of goods, the sum, which means you add them up. The sum of goods and services produced and consumed in a country.
Okay.
Yeah.
The GDP is a number
Mm.
and it is expressed in monetary form.
Okay.
For example, Zambia's GDP is 27 billion. Another thing, don't hold me exact on the numbers. The intention is simply to illustrate.
Yes.
Don't start telling me, no, the Zambian GDP is 27.8 billion. No, 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 we don't care about that. Just say it's $27 billion for people to understand.
Mm.
So that $27 billion, how did they arrive on it? They added all the things that are produced in Zambia and that are consumed. That means they are used or eaten up in Zambia. That's a difficult one to calculate.
Okay. So what are
Now,
these?
just a minute, one come much left.
Mbewe. That's why I like
Okay.
having you here. I like you here because of this same thing we are doing here.
Yes.
That's the way. So, what are the? It may sound silly. Me, I like breaking down terminologies. You know, I'm a preacher. Even when I'm preaching, I break down things. I don't take it for granted that everybody understands, even if it
Never.
sounds simple, Mbewe, goods, services. So, what are those goods in Zambia?
Oh, now that is wide. It means the meal, the cars we buy,
Mm.
the needles we use to sew our trousers when they are torn,
Mm-hmm.
the shoes, the clothes, the ball pens our children use in school, the exercise books we buy for them, the chalk which the teacher uses
Uses
to
on
write
the
on
board.
them, the marker, and so on. So you add up all of those things, all of them, but each one expressed in monetary form.
When you say
And once
expressed in
you add up
monetary
that,
forms, what do you mean? What does
that
that
means
mean?
it is expressed in kwacha. For
Okay.
example,
How much it costs to make it and to buy it?
no, how much it reaches the consumer because we said consumed. So the
Okay.
price at which it reaches the consumer. For
Uh-huh.
example, we have grown, let's give an example, 100,000 tons of sweet potatoes. Those ones were eaten and consumed in Zambia. So
Uh-huh.
we calculate how much is a ton of sweet potato? It's 50 kwacha times 100,000. That is the total amount of sweet potatoes which were produced and consumed in Zambia.
Okay.
Then that amount, to that amount which we found of sweet potatoes, we add the amount of trousers, we add the amount of shirt, we add the amount of chalk, we add the amount of barber services which were used. People have had a haircut, and then we measure how much is the standard haircut, 30 kwacha. And how many Zambians? 18 million. How many of those have a head cut every month? Is it every year? You calculate that one and you come up with a figure. And you
Mm.
add all those figures because a barber shop is a service. So you
Yes.
add up all those figures, and the figure you get is the GDP. Using my engineering, if it can't be measured, it can't
Uh-huh.
be done. So you measure the GDP.
Okay.
And in first year economics, there's an equation that GDP equals to government expenditure, consumption, investments, and trade balance. You add those four elements for a given country like Zambia.
So
So we measure.
repeat those again. Government expenditure.
That's G,
Mm.
consumption, That is C. Then investments, that is I. And then trade balance, N. Why are we using N instead of T? Because we don't want to confuse the T when it comes to taxation. So we put N. Where N is the difference between what we export and what we import. Always export minus import. So when you come to my economics class and you write me trade balance is import minus export, wapo na boy. It must always be exports minus imports.
Exports
When you
minus.
add all these things, the figure you get is the GDP. And if I want to go, let's go into details now, very quick details. G were the one which we said government expenditure. That's the money which government spends on education, health, building roads, hospitals, the army, the police, buying food for prisoners, etc., etc., etc. That's government expenditure. That figure, we add to it consumption. The number of goods and services which people in Zambia are consuming. They can be locally produced or imported. Watch out. Locally produced or imported. So when we import those .com cars from Japan, they are included in Zambia's GDP because we have consumed them here. But at the same time, those .com cars are included on Japan's GDP because Japan has produced them.
Of course.
You get the point? Then investments, it is the sum of investments made in Zambia by both foreigners and local investors.
In Zambia.
In Zambia. So if a Zambia made an investment in Zimbabwe, again, that one will be on Zimbabwe's GDP. But also on Zambia's GDP because that's what we produce, or it will appear as an our export when you are saying we are exporting knowledge. To add all those figures together, you get a GDP. Yafuma 172 billion kwacha for 2023.
Okay.
So far, so good. So, if we compare now that growth in 2023 of 172 to not growth, just the GDP, that number, the 172 billion kwacha, compare it to the one of 2021, where the previous year, which is 2022, where it was 167, and you express it in percentage form. So it would be 172 for 2023 minus 167 for 2022 divided by 167 for 2022 times 100. That percentage you get, if it is positive, the economy has grown. If it is negative, the economy has retarded.
Those figures you have given me, even just simply from the head without doing the actual, that's negative already.
That's a negative.
Okay. So we want to spend some time on the budget as well. Let me ask this question.
Now, before we go to the budget.
No, we are not going to the budget yet. We are not going to the budget yet. Kasuluba, you can jump in when you want. Me and Mbewe, we are always fighting. We are brothers.
Yeah.
Not only that, we've got common characteristics. Him is a pastor, as he said. He likes talking in simple terms. Me, I'm a lecturer. I also like speaking in simple terms.
So we are both professional talkers, right?
Talkers.
Mbewe, how do you grow an economy with an ever-growing debt, indebtedness?
Before we go to answering that question, let's answer the first half. How do we grow the economy? By manipulating those things. The ones which we said G, C, I, trade balance. Either we increase government expenditure, either we increase consumption, either we increase investments, or we increase exports. That's how do we increase.
We grow the economy by increasing government expenditure?
Yes.
How?
When the government is spending a lot of money on things, on their things, let me give you a simple thing. They're building roads. So subcontractors start getting money. Subcontractors employ people. And those people go to buy goods, so they increase consumption. So the economy is growing. Assuming that that money remains in Zambia.
Okay.
That's a very dangerous comment. That money
of course, I was just about to go a certain way, but I'll let it go.
Okay. I know which way you want to go, but
I know you.
Wait,
I know you do.
We shall have time for that.
I know you do. I know you do where I wanted to go.
So maybe I would like to just quickly jump in on that comment, just to support Dr. Mbewe. So, can you hear me clearly? I think I'm
yes, we can.
Very clearly.
So you've decided to support Dr. Mbewe, Mwalala Mbewe after the show.
Yeah. So when it comes to government expenditure, so what he's looking at is obviously spending on things that grow the economy. They are what are called public goods, right, Dr. Mbewe, such as maybe construction of roads.
Then there are services also like in medical, health, teaching.
Yes, education. Yes. So those that will benefit the economy in the long term. But then, as that is being done, there's also empowering, let's say, local contractors to do that, who are going to plow back the money within the same economy.
Like so the policy of we can no more importing desks and things like that, right?
Yes. So they'll start now investing back in the country, and the money will be in circulation within the country. Yes. Exactly. So when we talk of government expenditure, we're not talking of getting on a private jet and going to the Bahamas or things like that.
No, government doesn't do that. Government doesn't do that. If they do that, that is financial indiscipline.
Yeah, exactly.
There are paragraphs in the penal code for that.
Okay. Good point. So it's already clear that Kasuluva and Dr. Mbewe versus me here. So there is this argument, Dr. Mbewe, that I want us to throw this in. The hiring of, is it 30,000 plus teachers? Is that a form of growing the economy? I thought that is not growing the economy because the government will be spending on, that's a bill on the government in terms of wages or salaries to the teachers. Explain that to me.
But the teachers will use that money to buy meal meal. Therefore, milling companies will make more meal meal. They'll go and buy beef, so the butcheries will have more income. They'll buy clothes. They'll send their children or relatives to school.
They'll buy uniforms.
So the ripple effect is created.
Okay. Makes sense. We are trying to sort
but
of
you are missing one point, all of you. And I should add it here and mention in advance. That's my problem with the budget. Where does government get money for that?
Maybe that was my way. That was my reasoning and looking at the way of looking at this thing.
Okay, I leave it to you, Chair. Continue.
So I asked a question. I said, what was my question? How do you grow an economy with a growing debt? The government borrowed has been. You see, we are making it sound like, let's talk about this one. Is it 1.3 billion, Kasulova? I don't know how much it is. So, in Congo, how does debt help grow the economy? If I may put it that way, I don't know. We're trying to have a simple communication here. Remember, my argument is my uncle in Kashikishi needs to understand this discussion.
There I go. Let's start again.
Uh-huh.
So we agreed that GDP growth, economic growth or GDP growth of the GDP,
Yeah.
we find that there's government expenditure. Government has to finance. Government has to get money from somewhere. In economics again, governments want two primary sources of income. Primary meaning the basic and obvious. It's taxes and borrowing. Go ahead with your question.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Well,
But
maybe
all of us here who are listening here, most of us are mature.
Yeah.
I want to go further to say what Muniri Zulu said there in Parliament. I'll just end up there that pick it and find out what.
maybe may I come in?
No, just a minute before you come in.
Okay.
Everybody knows that when you borrow, you have to pay back.
Yes, of course.
With interest. When people pay taxes, government gets the money and it sends up there. It sends up there. So which one is the best way to finance government expenditure? There's a third way of exporting, and from those exports, you get taxes. Or a huge amount of money comes into the country and is put in Zambian banks. And these Zambian banks start distributing the money amongst the people who are ready to borrow and pay back. Now, my friend,
Kasulova.
Kasulova coming. Akena kakulwa pulate. My local etesavia
ndiwa kuserenje
serenje rwapula chimo chine firia mwate mokutweva banda daka zulu station na wewe nina kule kuserenje kale etesavia mairo where you get it from is none of my business. Okay, we are joking. Most people who don't like tribal jokes, I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so, go ahead now, because I don't want it to be between me and Dr. Mbewe. Me and you can go on like this for 4 hours.
I'm liking this one because I also decided to do it a bit differently and not just ask, but also make some contributions.
That's okay.
Yeah. So, like what Dr. Mbewe has already
By the
mentioned.
way, let me just cut you for 2 seconds. For those of you watching us, I don't know whether we just want our viewers to know that Kasulova is an accountant by qualification. That's why he has joined Mbewe's group for today. That's okay.
So yeah, you asked to say how do you grow the economy via borrowing, right?
Yes.
So Dr. Mbewe has already explained GDP to us, whereby it's the sum total of goods and services produced within the country
and consumed
within the country. So, but you borrow money as a country, then now you use that money to produce goods and services within the country. So, meaning that the money is being used to grow the GDP, which is increased production, investment, consumption, and all that. So it means that the economy, we're going to help to boost the economy through that.
Yes.
Not Dr. Mbewe.
Yes, sir. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
But on one condition.
Mm-hmm.
Once you borrow that money, you produce enough so that you expand the economy. At the same time, you remain with some money to go back and pay the debt.
Yeah.
So it's very important to service your debt, right? Let's get into the budget. Let's get into the budget. Let me see. It says, okay, the budget stands at US dollar 167 billion point 32. What is the genuine analysis?
Sorry. I'm not sure, my friend Kasuruwa. Can you tell us, is it dollars or kwachas?
It's dollars.
Are you sure?
Huh?
$167, $7 billion, not kwacha. But Derek, what's the correct information? Somebody please check for us.
Can you please check for us whether it's dollars or kwacha? Me, I'm of the view that it's kwacha.
I think so. Okay, what does the budget? I think it was reduced by 3.3%, right?
Yes.
I'm figures are in dollars. I think in kwacha. Let's wait for Derek.
What is the government saying? Did the economy last year grow or did it shrink?
Kasulova, what are they saying?
So what was provided last year? What was provided for last year has reduced in comparison to what has been budgeted this year. The major component being the reduction in the debt component, so that the debt amount that the amount that's being spared towards the amount that is going to be generated as regards debt component has been reduced by the government. So that reduction mainly is what has caused the budget to go down. But then,
no. Wait. That is playing with figures.
Okay,
I will say something very controversial. The government is playing with figures.
But Derek has confirmed it's kwacha, not dollars.
It's kwacha.
These figures we are dealing with here, the budget stands at 167 billion kwacha.
Okay, so that 167 billion kwacha, you can divide by 15 as the exchange rate or average for the whole year.
Oh, ilipa Antoine Gane.
Or the average which you want to take.
Ilipa 15 number. Sorry, Roger.
I'm not. Take away. Ilipa 15. I'm saying average for the whole year. It has been going up and down. So we don't think Roger. Let's find the average exchange rate for last year, and you divide that 167 by that number, and you see the GDP of Zambia in dollars. I'm very much interested in that figure because it will.
You want the dollar figure?
Yes.
So the dollar figure of the 167. Okay.
Okay, all right. So here is another question about the budget, Mbewe. Various sectors have coined the budget to be consumer-based and does not highlight how revenue will be generated locally. To your point, what's your take?
This is what I said.
Yeah. So it's consumer-based. It doesn't reflect on how revenue will be generated.
Exactly. You remember what I said? The government's primary sources of income are taxation and borrowing or debt. You can also include exports. Let's go into hammer that now. In this new budget, when you look at it like that, the expenditure, how government wants to spend, brilliant. That is very good. That's what Zambia needs. At least for this. Me, I would have gone much further, especially to concentrate on spending on those things that would activate economic activity, entrepreneurship, especially amongst the youth. I would concentrate on those expenditures that will generate jobs. Fine. The way it is right now, okay, that's their risk appetite, the current government, to go that much only. Let's leave them. They were elected by people. We've got nothing to say. Secondly, what is worrying is the source of money to finance those things they are talking about. Why? Because in the same budget, taxation is being reduced. The mines have got taxes removed long ago. Is it last year? Now, royalties reduced or cancelled out. So many companies have, so many mining conglomerates have got tax rebates from long ago. So, mining will not be a source of money for government expenditure. So, let's go to taxation of the Zambians themselves. When I came back to Zambia in 2010, only 720,000 Zambians paid taxes out of a population of 12 million.
Wow.
This time, with a population oscillating around 18 million, I hear it's only 1.3 million. And that one now, you have even reduced the tax brackets. Okay, with good intention that people will have this money in their pockets and then they'll use it for consumption to drive demand, which will increase production somewhere there. But only with 1.3 million. That number that would have made sense if these people who are paying taxes in Zambia is significantly high, which means with a population of 18, let's say 50 between adults and children, then you've got 9 million adults to pay taxes. So make sure that at least 5 to 7 million adults pay taxes.
Which is not the case. Far below
Which is
that.
not the case.
Far below that.
And
because
do you know
most
the major
of
reason? Do you know the major reason why most of the people don't pay taxes here? Because the government does not have the guts to go and tell the people we are increasing taxes because they are afraid that in the next elections they will lose.
Is it that, or there isn't a good system of collecting revenue or taxes, Dr. Mbewe? Those that are informal
that's another one.
Didn't we lose direction?
That's another one.
You know, the council would go to the market and collect bakupela receipt. Didn't we lose that?
Council it was the cadres who were doing that.
Exactly. That was my point.
So you see, again, you are right that the problem would also be systemic. It is in the system. Everybody, sorry for those people who don't understand Nyanja, everybody it is Boma Yanganepo. Hey, but have you paid Boma the taxes for them to Yanganapo? What is your problem? You haven't. So why are you demanding for something which you haven't paid for? I can talk like that because I'm an economist, a technocrat. The politicians cannot afford to speak the way I'm speaking because they are afraid of losing the vote. Then the system of exploiting government. Expenditure is blown out of proportions.
Exactly. That's the problem.
Where will the money come from?
So, where do we stand with the? What am I trying to say?
Previous debts.
Yeah, previous debts. The Euro bonds and all those things.
The Euro bond is supposed to be paid this year, from what I remember.
Paid off?
Paid off. That's 750 million euros. It is supposed to be paid off in 2022. It was designed as balloon payment, meaning over the 5 years, is it 10 years on which it was held by Zambia. Zambia was just paying interest on an annual basis. Then at the end in 2022, when it becomes due, you pay the whole 750 at a go. So which means from 2012, when it was taken, immediately when PF had come up, They were supposed to start paying interest rates and then collecting the capital to come and accumulate to 750 million this year and go and pay it. But we started hearing that no, they have defaulted, which means there is some interest rate which they have not paid for a given period. If they are failing to pay interest, what about the capital itself? Forget. So this loan this year, if we don't pay it, it will become a loan which is behind. We are defaulting.
That there is this school of thought, Dr. Mbewe, on debt.
Yes.
I think you and I mentioned this to you some days ago, weeks, I can't remember. Somebody was saying we make such a big deal about Zambia's indebtedness. There's no country that's not in debt. America is one of the most indebted nations. What's your comment on that?
America can be the most indebted nations because the whole world uses their money, the dollar. They don't have to pay anyone. If they've got problems, they can cancel the debt on their own, or they can redebt. We are not America. We don't have that freedom to use our own currency in debt. That is number one. Number two, there are international commitments. Timona power nove, you go and drink together. But you will tomorrow they will demand that you pay. You pay back the money you took.
No mbanga nchikwete.
No mbanga nchikwete. Nishita wakulaisa kumkunu wako mambala grade 7. This is what we are being told now. You become an outcast. If Zambia fails, it will become an outcast. To sort the issue of debt, let's not look as if we are just criticizing. No, we can offer solutions.
Yes, what are the solutions?
The solutions is to produce more, sell more, generate foreign exchange, use that foreign exchange to pay. Not that everything that comes in our country, it is foreign direct investments. So the owners of those investments, they take away the profit and without paying any taxes to Zambia, because Zambia did not charge them any tax. So, me, I would be radical. I would follow my beloved leader, Super Kenny, Kenneth Kaunda, that from today, guys, now move for Balandira TN, tax rebates, Johnson cancelled. Everybody should start paying taxes. According to the Americans saying, there are two sure things in the world, death and paying taxes. Remember, the biggest American mafioso, Al Capone, was imprisoned not for killing people, but for not paying taxes.
It's true. It's very true.
Let's just make it like that. Here in Zambia, people pay taxes. That's all.
You see, Mbewe, to the issue of paying taxes, that's what I'm saying. It's not that people are not able to pay taxes. It's that the system has been derailed. It doesn't function. It's not there. You cannot blame people for not paying or doing something when there's no mechanism. You cannot.
You see,
let there be the only people paying taxes are companies, of course, those that are legitimately doing it, and those in formal employment. The rest are
formal
not.
Employment with government companies, especially
companies, government, and things like that.
And
everybody
NGOs.
else. Now the question is, how many people are in informal employment?
In informal, they are the
informal.
Formal, the ones who are known.
Yes, who are going
white
to
collar.
White collar, whatever.
Not only white collar, even blue collar.
Not just even blue. Everybody going to work.
Those are the 1.3 million.
Out of 18. You can't have 1.3 million people funding expenses, yeah, child, and it's not going to work.
Mm.
The other question is what happens to those billions of kwachas by ZRA boast about calling to say this quarter they met their target, they collected so much. One time I asked the question, why don't we live within our means?
Let those ones who manage Zambia's money answer that question.
Live within your means. Even when I remember when we were kids, Mbewe, when we were growing up to ZCBC Navafyashi, and you said, Daddy, can I have this? What was the answer we were given?
We can't afford.
We can't afford it.
Sometimes they just
give you a look and you know the answer. So why don't we as a nation do that? Why don't we live within our means? Everybody, it sounds like we are mumbling all over the place, but this is Dr. Mbewe, we have a special relationship. We just, even the script of the questions we prepared has been thrown out of the window. But I know we are talking about things because you see, going back to the beginning, I didn't want us to begin to sound technical and, Mbewe coming out like Mwaliberengo Tumabuku and all those things. We know you have read, your title says Dr. Mbewe. Nobody, like, I know you're going to that. Nobody cares about that, okay?
That's the point.
So I want you to address Agnes's question. Please address also the issue of the cost of living, no jobs. What's the issue there?
Economic policy failures over time. Agnes, in very simple and straightforward terms, economic policy failures over time, not only at the time of HH, let me call names. Not
yes,
only
of course, it goes back.
Those things started long ago. Chambira okufimba mulelo leshafi. Number pute. That's what you are seeing now. You see, we go back to that equation of GDP, consumption, government expenditure, and so on. No one has been working on making sure that those things come because as a result of local capital.
Yes.
So those things are not there. So standard of living starts falling because people do not have jobs. You remember when Clinton was taking over power in the first government, some of the people here maybe were in grade 2, so you didn't know who was Clinton. He said that it's the economy, stupid. Yes. Here in Zambia, we should say, it's the jobs, stupid. Employ people. We have gone 20, 30 years with people not having systematic jobs.
Of course.
Therefore, the young people, even Lukasuno, he can tell us, he can answer this question. Do you think that your generation, you people, you are used to working Mwai Makachero Mwakunjito Mwawela 17 hours from 1st of January to 31st of January? Can this new generation adhere to that?
No, we can't.
No way. You want the money now.
Yes.
Why?
Yes. Yeah.
Why?
If anything, sorry, Dr. Mbewe, to add on that, if anything, for the period that I have worked, even retirement package, I would want it now, not to wait till I'm 50 something.
Along the your retirement package you want now. Mailo wavuka na hangover mupocket musheri wanu ngwe
wapya
waamba kokulira boma yanganepo itavutika yanganepo shani twali kupenda
Mbewe.
So
He's frozen. Somebody called Zikta and said, shut this guy up.
Who, me? I'm there.
No much stuff freezes. So I'm joking at somebody called Zikta to shut this guy up.
No, we are a democracy.
Mbewe, do the mines really get away with taxation? What's the issue there?
Come again?
The mines, do they get away with taxation? There's this argument that ama mines tabali pila tax.
Awe. Imwe bishop. Imwe na imwe twale berenga chinua chebe, things fall apart.
Yes.
What was sentence? If you leave your mouth wide open, don't blame the flies for playing in it. We have just left our mouths wide open.
Wide open.
I am a mine. They were ours. The company was called ZCCM.
There you go.
Which had the Bwana Mkubwa division, Nkana division, Mufulira division, Chibuluma division, Chirarombo, Nchanga division, and so on. Then we privatized. When we privatized, we gave them out. And those people, when they bought from us, they paid us money. And we took it and consumed that money. Those mines are no longer ours. The only thing they can give us are taxes. But they negotiated with us that the copper price is low. It's $900 per ton. Do you remember Manhattan those days?
Yeah.
Now, let's not pay taxes. Help us to improve so that we keep the jobs of Zambians. When the price started dramatically gone up, may his soul rest in eternal peace, another beloved President Mwanawasa introduced windfall tax. When you've got sudden profits from an unexpected source, they went around blowing the trumpet. No, windfall tax, it stifles production and so on. The Britain last year or 2 years ago, didn't they put the windfall tax on those companies that mine crude oil in the North Sea? Because suddenly the price of crude oil passed the magical $100 per barrel.
Yeah.
Chawamira galu kuluma mbuzi osati mbuzi ilume galu. You remember those things, eh? So with the mines, if we have to be crude in our weights, they are rightly exploiting us because we allowed them to do so.
Well, Kasuluba, Matilda, welcome. Are you seeing my messages? Okay, I told you Vazik Tavareva Timoshimi and Yare Pangechong.
Yeah.
All right, coming up, Dr. Mbewe will come up and will conclude nicely. We'll be talking to Matilda Lucas and other association leaders or presidents who will join us for the upcoming independence celebrations that will be coming up. Your take on our conversation with Dr. Mbewe, Kasuluba, before we...
I think it's...
I know we were all over the place and we got off the script of the questions that we had prepared.
But it is very, very insightful, and I like his independent way of argument, you know.
Matilda, check your text message on WhatsApp. I need an answer. Good.
Yeah, so basically it's his independent take, and I agree with a number of things that he's actually raised, and how we are the ones to actually grow our economy at the end of the day. Yeah.
All right. And you see, he mentioned some things before we conclude. I hope he can come back so that we finish quickly. We finish properly before we get on Matilda here to discuss about the OZA, what do you call it, independence celebration coming up very shortly. What are your thoughts on these things he raised here? I like the points he made. He said government expenditure, consumption, investment, trade balance. You are a finance person. What are your comments on that?
Which is GDP. Well, I think just in line with what he said, for there to be economic growth, we need growth in GDP. So there, the growth we're looking at it being local. We're looking at the production of goods and services within the country. We are looking at expenditure that's in line with improving public goods being roads, hospitals, schools, which will eventually, not in the near future. Some of these are long term, but eventually we're investing in the future of the nation and as well as investing. So, provided the country is centered on that, then it's a plus. Just to add on locally produced goods and services, I just saw there are computers now that are going to be done in Zambia. They are called Neo. So
They will be assembled in Zambia or manufactured in
yes.
Zambia.
So at this point, then I think they're not yet being manufactured in Zambia, but the plan is for them to be, I think from start to finish, they should be done within Zambia. So these are some of the exciting things that we never used to see back then. So if we can start having such things, maybe gadgets such as phones, going forward, we start assembling vehicles like it used to be back in the days at Land Rover.
Yeah, Fiat 127.
Yes. So these are some of the key things that that grow the economy. So then we produce, then we now export. So exporting, like Dr. Mbewe had made mention, because then exporting, there's all the benefits. There's forex for the money that's coming in the country by virtue of exporting. So really, if we move in such a trajectory, it's a good thing. Yes.
All right, excellent. Okay, everybody get ready. Coming up, I'm Matilda.
Hello. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can. Coming up, everybody. That's the lady that is coming up right now. Oza Treasurer, Matilda Mwava Lucas. I like those names.
Thank you.
Age mate. When you have your age mate, you can do anything or say anything.
That's right.
When you're dealing with the Kasulubas, you have to be very careful. You don't know whether they'll get offended or not. For Feba we just say anything that comes to our mind, and that's it. Yeah, that's it. All right, everybody. It's a pity Dr. Mbewe is not able to come back, but that was a good discussion. It was good. It went all over the place. At times you need to do that. The more scripted. Coming up is this lady here. She'll be talking about the Oza Independence Celebration. That will be coming up on January. Oh, I almost said January. On
October 29th.
October 29th. All right. Okay, everybody, stand by.
Do you want to promote your business on Zambia Broad Talk Radio? Yes, that's right. Live on Zambia Broad Talk Radio. To book your spot, just make a donation by picking from the following categories. To get started, just call or WhatsApp the number on the screen and you'll be good to go. Live on Zambia Broad Talk Radio every Saturday for 1 full month. And it will stay on the recorded shows.
Hi everyone, welcome back. This is the second part of our show. A lot of people do ask about advertising on the show. There is a number scrolling at the bottom there. We have one for the US and one for Zambia. You can just send your message there if you want to advertise, and we'll give you information about the rest. Good afternoon, Zambia. We hope you're enjoying the show. That was I like it when things go like that. Joining us this morning from the beautiful state of Florida, which was devastated last week by a gentleman called Ian. You find Matilda, good to have you here. Matilda is part of ZBTR, so no introductions needed, but she's joining us as a treasurer for the Organization of Zambians Abroad, popularly known as Oza. Matilda, there's an event coming up on October 29th. Tell us about that.
Yes, thank you for having us, Nathan. Hi, Kasuluba. Nice to see you. Yes, October 29th, all roads lead to Dallas, Texas. The Organization of Zambians Abroad had put out on Facebook asking the people, the general public, to say, hey, where would you like for us to have independence celebration? We gave them a list of cities, and some people suggested more cities, and with voting, Dallas was the winner. So this was chosen by the public. The public chose Dallas, Texas, and that's where we'll be. We will start with a meet and greet on the 28th of October.
Friday?
On a Friday, yes.
Where is this going to be?
We will advertise the address when the date gets close. We will be having at one of the Airbnbs that we'll be using. So that's something, yeah. We'll advertise the address when we get closer. So we want to welcome people coming in from different parts of the country, different parts of the state of Texas, and even within Dallas. So we'll just have a meet and greet so that people can put a name to a face and a face to a name and meet up with old friends and new friends and so on. So that is how we're going to start our celebrations.
Now, one of the important questions, Matilda, is that there is a fee to this, for somebody to attend this event. What is the fee and how does one make a payment?
Yes, thank you. That's a very good question, because as much as we would like to make these things free, there are bills to pay. So yes, this is a paid event. Admission is $80 if you go online. We have an event, and those who are OZA members and they are paid members, they do have a discount. So see me if you're an OZA member, inbox me, I can give you that discount. On the day of the event, on the 29th, it's $100 at the door. So we are encouraging you to take advantage of this fee right now, because once the 29th comes through, it's $100 at the door. We also have packages. I'm not sure if you're going to ask me that question. Should I go ahead?
Please talk about the packages as well. It's important.
All right.
They may want to sit in a certain position and see the beautiful skyline of Dallas at night.
Yes. So we do have tables. You can have a table of 10 or a table of 8. So the table of 10 right now is going for $780. But if you wait for Saturday, the 29th, it's going to be $1,000. So get your table, your group of people together. But if you can't make 8, if you can't make 10 people, you can at least make 8. And the table for 8 is going for $620. If you wait for the 29th of Saturday at the door, it's going to be $800. So these are discounts we are encouraging our community to take advantage of. And if you're interested in vending, we do have vendor tables. These days businesses, it's just one person. So if you are the vendor and it's just you alone, it's $150 for you to have a vendor table. You can set up your background banner, set up your table the way you want to. But if you're bringing a second person, your assistant, in case you need to get up from the table to do other things, so just to give each other turns, those vendor tables are $230.
Okay.
Yes.
So when I look at the OZA flyer, the contact person is Siddiq, right? So that's the information we need to give up. Okay. So call Siddiq on that number for information about everything that Matilda is talking about. I almost put your number there, but then I didn't I didn't want your number to be. I didn't want your husband to say Nshani phone.
No, whenever payments are involved, it's okay to share my number. Some people want to pay through Zelle. They would prefer to use Zelle rather than Eventbrite, so they can call me and I'll give them the OZA number the Zelle OZA number, or if you want to get your table.
No. Let's do this. Give me the Zelle number in the private chat room, and I put it here so that we are able to put it up here so that people this is a high-tech era, Kasuluba. Don't Monica Mafontin in front of Kasuluba here. Let's put the Zelle number up there because Eventbrite, as you know, ila charging a coca fee no fee so.
Ila charging.
So people can pay Zelle through Zelle, right? The $80.
Yes, they can pay through Zelle. And I'm trying to just bear with me. I'm using
not a problem. Kasuluba, what are you doing for independence as Matilda is looking for the number?
Oh, independence. Nothing much planned really besides us commemorating.
Independence. If na Mbewe toale for ma campo mpona ma bands kuli ba independence. Yeah, do you know that on Zambia's 10th anniversary independence, everybody who was born in 64 got a band and a free cup of fun.
Really?
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. It was quite iconic.
Independence if we are into anything. That we should go and Matilda will conclude with Mbewe here. We just thought that we should.
Bear with me, Nathan. My computer WhatsApp yachta freeze, but I can give you the number, Papen, if it's okay.
Yeah, just call it out, Papen. We'll put it on. What's the number?
Okay. Tweet and the win. Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Technology, sure. Hi, Dr. Mbewe again.
Hi, kadaka chikashana ka ifuta wamu.
Can you believe Mbewe? They show Mulumendo Kasuluba apart. What are you doing for independence? No special plans. Hey. For independence, it was a big deal. It's a big deal. Yeah?
Kwamba Kachero, especially 10th anniversary, the one you are talking about.
Yes.
You start in the morning, you go to Masala grounds. The vice president is addressing. In the afternoon, you go to Luguto ground, Mwaya follow to Kampompona and Ilea pyramid.
Hello, ukobaleba ekumia sunoko wakonse masala Luguto. Kona afuma.
Inina afuma kuluguto pa police pali epona kulide. Inewa isude Luguto secondary mu 1977.
Wow. So you say so Matilda dropped the conversation. So all that is part of GDP Kampompo.
No, GDP, but who financed it?
China, North Korea. What's the number, Matilda?
No, that time my friend in 1974.
Yeah.
It's not quite a few copies to
Matilda, give me
the mistake was that we are not leaving money for future consumption.
Okay, but Nathan, the number is 352 988
352 958
988.
Wait, 988
7049.
7049.
Yes.
So, what do we call this? Registration, right?
This is the OZA number that you can use to purchase your table tickets, or if you would rather just purchase through Zelle than Eventbrite. Though we are encouraging Eventbrite purchases, but you know Zelle is transparency, accountability. But even with this, we still have the transparency and accountability. It helps about taxes. Tulanda kunumu America, but Dr. Mbewe Valankali pay your taxes.
How much chikashana pay, but here in Zambia?
So for those
Yeah,
of you
where the
who would
money is
like to,
needed.
for those of you who would like to buy tickets using Zelle, that's the number there on the screen. Okay, 352988749. And you can also go to, so Eventbrite, which they search for OZA what? What do they search for?
Organization of Zambians Abroad or
The full
Zambians
name.
Abroad.
The full
Yes.
name.
Yes.
Okay. One of the big components to these events, since you're having a lot of people coming out of town, is accommodation. Tell us about the deal that OZA has made with this hotel.
Okay. So we have been very fortunate to find a venue that has a lot of hotels around it. Initially, we got a very good deal. We apparently thought it was a good deal with Embassy Suites. We were getting hotel rooms for $99 and I think up to $110, depending on the room that you want to get. But we also found out that Comfort Suites, which is also the same distance from, yes, all these hotels are 1 minute walk. You can actually walk there. But with Comfort Suites, I think we have a better deal with $82 for the room. And there's a number that you can call for Comfort Suites.
There it is on the screen.
Yes. So when you call that number that's on your screen, 972-699-7400, just ask for Zambians Abroad, and they will give you that discount.
All right. What's the, the reservations, Zambians Abroad, and
yes.
You are good to go. Okay.
You can still get Embassy Suites. I believe we reserved 10 to 20 rooms. If $99 is a bit too rich, $82 we hope can work within the budget.
Excellent. All right. So when is this happening again, Matilda? Let's remind the people.
Yes, so this will be on the 29th of October of 2022, and we will be at the Park Plaza Tower. The address there, we have this on Facebook, but I'll just put it out there. The address there is 1311 North US 75 Central Expressway in Dallas. And we are on the 6th floor of this building. So it's
what people can just do is maybe just search for that on Google, right? The Park Plaza Dallas.
Yes, and we will be on the 6th floor.
All right, excellent. All right, so $80 before the actual day, which is 29th, and on the actual day to be $100 at the door. And we're looking forward to having everybody there. For further details or information, please call Siddiq, the president for OZA. That's the number there. Okay, Matilda.
Just one more thing, Nathan. We'll have traditional dances. This is independent.
Yes, by the way, what's the entertainment? Can we talk about entertainment on the menu if possible? Finish with the menu.
Menu mate beto. Menu, it's you just have to be there. If you haven't eaten this in a long time, or even if you eat it every day, it's okay. But the chef, we have Z Chef. She has many names, GZ Chef or Lubona or Muna. Most of people on Facebook know her. She's cooking for us. And on the menu, we have shim, of course. We want to be in touch with our Zambian side. Fish and chicken, ichifu, ifisashi. And then we also have Vastrida making us chikanda and bringing umunkoyo. So we'll have that. I mean, there are other things on the menu. I just wanted to highlight those. So please, umunkoyo, Vanathan, when was the last time you had umunkoyo? Mwilanda, Muyasuka.
My niece Nangoya and Ivana Musonda look after
I know you are going to say just yesterday. That's why I said Muyasuka.
They take care of the bishop.
Absolutely. And in addition to that, entertainment, we have no other than Shaiman Shaizo Manizo. So he's going to be performing for us. We have DJC Money on deck, and anyone who's been to our events, DJC Money is our guy. And but the traditional dance, anyone listening, you can be in the Dallas area, you can be outside. But if you're interested in participating, we're going to have some, I'm giving it away, but we want people to be involved. If anyone would like to participate in some traditional dances, or you would like us to sing a song from your tribe, we don't want it to say, so it's just in Bemba. No. We want to represent as many tribes as possible. So if you have a song, let's say you're shy, but you say, hey, there's this Lozi song or Tonga song or Mambwe, Lamwanga, Luvale song, here's a song. Or if there's a dance, show it to me on YouTube. You can put my Vika number by Nathan, they can inbox me.
All right, it's fine. Okay, so everybody, you hear that? If you are looking for hotel accommodation, call Comfort Suites. That's the number. Reservations, use what's the code? Zambians Abroad.
Yes.
And you'll get that special discount for the venue. Is called, if you want to, the Park Plaza. Just Google Park Plaza Dallas. The information will come up and it will give you the vicinity of where the place is going to be. It's a magnificent place. And for ticket sales, you can do Eventbrite, Organization of Zambians Abroad, and you can make payment another way through Zelle. That is the number. For further details on this event, you can call Siddiq on that number. Thank you, Matilda. I'm looking forward to seeing you in Dallas.
Thank you for having me, Kasuluba, as usual. We just say hi and bye, but thank you.
Great to have you. Thank you.
Take care. All right.
All right, bye. All right, before we conclude with Dr. Mbewe here, let me say something about, I need to create space here, Kasuluba. I need to do something here. The Zambians in Dallas, there are so many events going on in the community. I had planned to have 3-4 association leaders come here, but due to schedules, I just want to talk about this. Dallas, we are having a barbecue family. Apart from the OZA event, we're going to have that barbecue. It's a family-oriented event on October 8th, which is 15th, sorry, 8th is today. Next weekend from 2 p.m., it's at Oak Park and Nature. That's the flyer there. It's a barbecue. Bring the kids. They'll be playing before we get to the OZA event on the 29th, where the kids will be at home. But we thought that this is what you need to understand is the OZA event is a collaboration between the Association of Zambians in Dallas-Fort Worth, and that's the joint. So we thought that before we get to the OZA event in the 29th, the association is doing a barbecue. It's family oriented, like the flyer says there. That's the date, that's the time. Do get in touch. Bring the kids. Don't worry about babysitting, okay? There will be no worries for babysitting. It will all be family time, all right? So enjoy your independence. Let's finish this. All this is GDP, Mbewe, right? Expenditure.
But going to the Americans. When you asked that lady about...
Let's bring him on Matilda back. It's intuition on, but it's free for all now.
When you asked that lady about entertainment, I was worried that she was going to beat that entertainment we had on the 10th anniversary of Zambia in 1974. She hasn't beaten it. There was a Kalela. If you Northwestern.
Vimbuza.
Indendeule. Then wali abakumalawi bali abalefya white bali nanga bali dance for bali. Nathan Landa. Bali abaleshana no tutambala so.
Nala, I need to ask my relative Tandy in the UK.
Those were the dances there. Then 2 years later, number kwasa ingira ba Kazembe, NPK, National Picture in Kazembe. Mama. That's when Zambia was Zambia. But nowadays.
Kwali akanto.
Mama. History mvo mtu. Falong break to muto secondary. Tuaya kuda down kutave ni tuaya no amo kali aka 18 ngwe.
akakwiba because tabalesumisha ekyokuingira mu mataveni.
Tabalesumisha babafe chimudala kitwala kushitirako kamuna
kushtirako naye
kairya ni communal te so kutwala nwamo.
So Kasuluba, you see, those are the only times we used to do crazy things: Independence, Christmas, and New Year. So
but wait a minute, Nathan. Tabalesumisha kuingira mu mataveni, but my generation abafyashi baletuma tikavye kutaveni, you know. So we go to That's true. But yes, we are trying to get to that type of entertainment. If they would love to sing, dance, or help with play drums and kulete nyimbo. Kuli ukushano ni so dambe.
Wow.
Okay,
Dr. Mbewe, we do thank you for taking the time.
I'm very sorry my cable got disconnected, so it was an electrical thing. So I connected
democracy kwisa.
No, we need more discussions like this. I actually benefited from this very much. Yes, and as much as I'm familiar with the nomenclature, economics, but breaking it down really helps because kuliba mama, kuliaba nchito, kuliama farm workers, Africa Pama level of education some of us have attained. This helps for them to understand. Those are the people who are the majority of the population.
Yeah. You've done a good job, my friend.
Even those educated ones, they always ask you, why do we pay taxes? I don't want to pay taxes. But you know what? Who paid for that?
No, they don't see it. But I think when Dr. Mbewe, you should come back. But
no. I already told him that what we have to talk with him, this is part one. This is part one. I hope I'll be more disciplined next time to stick to the script.
No, don't make false promises. You and me to be disciplined on this discussion.
And you see, Matthew Dakasuluba, that's why I prefer to discuss economic things with him, because I can go whichever way. You see what I'm trying to say? He knows me, I know him, we know each other. So ngatulelanda, it's like natuikala patebo no munkoyo wachilala ndapo na chikanda tuleli elo ndei pushati. Because he is the consultant.
Right.
So when it comes to economic issues, I put him in trouble. When it comes to Bible and things to do with God, he puts me in trouble. So that's the way we relate.
Yeah.
There's an example that Dr. Mbewe gave, and I was just trying to see how possible is it to measure. Mwacheva pali sweet potatoes, a ton of sweet potatoes, I got that. But then when you made reference to like a zip, it was just an example. People who make alterations, is there a way that we are able to monitor that this shop sold so many? If it like a barcode or something to say that, to count down the inventory. These are things never per market valashtisha. How can we measure something like that?
That is why we have got a big sector of our economy, which is known as a gray economy.
Okay, it falls in the gray economy. That's true.
Something which you can't measure, but it is there.
What
is it included in the GDP?
No. Gray economy. What's that?
It's a part of the economy which is not accounted for. It does not appear in the national statistics.
For me, I think the one issue I would like to talk about is the same one to do with taxation. Yes, quite all right. It's true, like what Dr. Mbewe made mention, to say you find some people questioning and asking to say, but why should I pay tax? But then at the same time, it's also important to note that you can never develop as a nation out of overtaxing the people, because no matter what double taxation, even if you want any tax, there's an individual, there's someone who wrote to say you can trying to develop a nation through overtaxing your people is like standing in a bucket, then you expect to lift yourself, So the issue is growth, national GDP, production, exporting, and things like that. Taxes as well should just be normal, not number overtaxing like that time when pakati padia. Bad.
So, Dr. Mbewe, I don't know if you are able to answer this question to Kasuluva's point. As the UPND government continued those taxes, PF started about the taxation on the, what do you call it? The Fukushima, taxation on the, what are some of those, Kasuluva?
Yeah, there was on the same boreholes. There was
there were so many taxation. Is the government continuing with those things, or they are going to eliminate them?
That's a question which government should answer themselves. But let's put it clear here. Those things, the boreholes which the government was looking for, especially it was warmer, the water, whatever resources management authority, the sector of water, their intention was that there is a problem of water distribution in Zambia, and most of the people, they have resorted to setting up boreholes. And these boreholes go very deep, up to 65 meters, some even 110 meters.
Oh, wow.
They are going into the table water, the one which is underground. And people are pumping water from there. This water might simply dry up and the whole Zambia would be a desert. So they wanted to start monitoring where is a borehole and how deep is it. Afterwards, if we see trouble, who do we tell that you close your borehole? That's why Wanma was asking for the GPS position of your borehole. You see? And that is a very serious case. If you can allow me 2-3 minutes on this one.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, you find that in Zambia, especially when you go to these affluent, new affluent areas like Ichalala or the new Lies or whatever, the problem with them is that they are not designed according to the Country and Urban Planning Act.
Okay.
When you want to set up a township, a compound, first you design utilities, water systems, electricity system, sewage system, and specific to Zambia, the furrow system to drive away rainwater. You have to design those ones, go to the extent of making them, installing them. You even include the electricity system. Then when people come to start buying plots there, you give them plots where they have got access to all these things. The behavior nowadays, if I can call it that, is simply to make houses. Then from there start thinking, oh, there's no water, so let's dig a borehole here. But in your yard where you are digging a borehole, the other side, your neighbor, is digging a pit latrine. Very common in Chala.
Wow. So that goes to the fact
all that water, the waste from the pit latrine goes down to the table water. The water which you are digging is that very one which your neighbor here has put in the fecal matter. That's why when most of the water from the borehole it is measured, it has got a high percentage of fecal matter, more than the norm. You get the point? It's because such systems do not exist, or they are not set up during the design. Even you find that old compounds like Kawushi, here in Osaka, Chirenje, Matero, They were built old times in the colonial time. They have those systems, but those systems have become clogged because people do not know how to throw away waste. There where you sit in Dallas, Fort whatever, if you be Warsaw, Stockholm, London, there is distribution of the waste when you are throwing it. You put some in a blue plastic, others in a white plastic, others in a green plastic, and all of it you throw in a black plastic.
Yeah.
So you find that even some of the most hard waste is thrown in the pipe. Sooner or later, the pipe gets what? Clogged.
Clogged.
So you need to opt to clean up those pipes.
Yeah. Okay, we need to end the discussion here, but before we go, we have the OZA president with us. Hey, Siddiq.
Hi, Pastor Nathan and everybody on the panel. How are you?
Let me put his number up. So when you call this number, that's the man you're going to speak to. He is going to tell you all the details of the things we've discussed with Matilda and Siddiq. Big thing coming up 29th.
29th, and I apologize.
That's okay.
I wish, yes, but big things coming up. People are ready. Vendor tables are ready. What else? The singers are ready.
Wow.
I mean, I'm just jumping up and down here with with what we have in store. But Pastor Nathan is ready. ZBTI is ready. You know,
everybody is ready. I have a question for you. What are you going to do if 1,000 people show up?
Well, then if 1,000 people show up, then our farewell barbecue will be held at your house.
You want the city to give me a citation? Siddiq, big collaboration between OZA and Association of Zambians in DFW. What is the significance of that?
Oh my goodness. In fact, let me start by saying this quickly, that we did not choose to go to Dallas. It was the people, the diaspora. But after they voted for Dallas, we reached out to all the entities there, the two associations and other entities there, and of course we got some lukewarm feedback from others and some good response from others, and would like to thank the Association of Zambians in Dallas and the DFW. Because they actually gave us a big endorsement, and we really appreciate that. And we are reaching out to anyone else. We just want you to know about Dallas, including ZBTR, which has its footing in Dallas, that we are coming humbly as Zambians to you, Amen, Bachalo, and we are not budging in. We are coming to join with you, to sup with you, to enjoy with you Zambian celebrations.
You know, ZBTR at the dual headquarters, Dallas and Canada.
Oh, in Canada, yes.
Okotox, to be specific. Matilda Leseka, Okotox.
I also know. I know about Canada. My apologies.
That's okay. That's all right. All right, we're looking forward to having you guys, and it's going to be a great weekend. So that's Siddiq's number there. Everybody wants to call him. Okay, everybody, we need to wind this up. We're just having a casual conversation here. It's been a great day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's been an exciting day. Okay, let me give the last word to my good friend, Dr. Mbewe. Doc, what next? What should we expect? What should we expect from this budget?
Me, what I can say is this. As I said earlier on, the budget is well designed as regards to expenditure. That's in our current situation as a nation with the level of technological advancement. the level of economic knowledge, and the capacity of the people. This is the best we can do, or one of the best options we can put in place.
Yes.
But I'm worried about how are we going to finance this if we are cutting taxes and virtually all our exports, they do not belong to us. The money for selling copper, it doesn't even reach Zambia. It goes to some headquarters somewhere and not to Zambia.
That's sad.
So we
Now,
should find.
so to your point, let me throw in this. I am so glad I didn't forget this. I'm saying to myself, do you honestly think you are giving a saving to somebody who's willing to spend thousands of dollars by removing a visa fees? To be honest with you, I think that's a very lame decision to remove visa fees on tourism.
Can I weigh in on that one, Vanessa, while Dr. Mbewe is choosing his words carefully?
You can see that he's trying to be careful what he says, right?
So maybe my non-doctoral.
Okay, give your point and then Dr. Mbewe will
finalize. That is a woman. You come back at 22 hours, then you start choosing your wills. She knows already what you are going to say. Are you going
to AK-47? Let me measure my words. So, but Nathan, on the visa thing, I've also had to think about it. On one hand, we can see an economic sense to maintain it, but there's also something that it has potential to bring in more people. So I believe our neighbors, Zimbabwe, Botswana, I think Namibia, they got away. They got rid of their.
South Africa didn't.
South Africa reduced theirs. South Africa
didn't get rid of it. They reduced it.
No. But whenever they change the market, if at all we are humble.
That's exactly where our problem is. And
yes.
Mbewe, in view of Matilda, now that you make that point, I stand to be corrected on what I am about to say. I have lived in this country 20 plus years. I've never seen a Zambian commercial tourism on CNN or the network stations. I've never seen it. I could be wrong.
Yes, there have been some major news syndicates that have advertised.
Which one? Where? Show me. Send me the clip.
I have this.
I know.
I'll find it.
Okay, let Mbewe. But to be honest with you, to me, I'm trying to choose my words. Like you have said, my friend here, him and I belong to the same generation, so I'm trying to be. I'm trying not to say what I really want to say. Let me throw it to Mbewe.
Same with him.
Because the lady there, Anjikata, so I'm forced to say what I was planning to say. Then I was weighing how to say it. You see, that move of removing visas fees. It's crazy, to be diplomatic. It is stupid.
Okay.
Why? Because that is very little money which those people can afford if they want to go to Zambia.
There you go.
Whether you like it or not, they will pay.
$50 is not a saving for somebody who's spending thousands.
What's that for those people who are flying first class to Johannesburg, then from there to Lusaka? Or they are going through Emirates, then that direct Emirates flight to Lusaka, they are in first class. What is $100 for them? Do you know the major problem with our tourism? We have got nothing to show.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me about the Victoria Falls. That is water falling. What is so nice about seeing water falling? Is there accompanying infrastructure there? You go to Florida, your Disneyland. What do you find there? There's a lot of accompanying infrastructure.
Yeah.
Plays, film halls, shelters where they're showing this, where they're showing that. Until we find some tourist attractions, the number of tourists coming here will be a trickle.
Mm-hmm.
The Victoria Falls, it's seasonal.
Mm-hmm.
And climate change is coming.
Mm.
It might dry up. How ready are we for such a change? Let me give you an example. You imagine the copper belt. When you are entering from Osaka into the copper belt, Ndola, Luansha, Kitwe, Mufulira, Chingola, Chirawombwe, those are places where they've been mining copper since 1901. Now, think in 3 dimensions. If you fly over the copper belt like a bird, and you are seeing those towns here, and you look at where they were mining, they have made tunnels.
Yes.
Not so? Where are those tunnels going? That is already infrastructure made.
Mm-hmm. 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 Right. I see what you're saying.
Especially down there. There's a little line which was going up to there. So the one of Ndola, let's say Banamkubwa mine, where did it go to meet Baluba? Did it ever meet Baluba? Or were they going parallel? Then can we put up a little money and connect the Baluba one to the Kitwe one, Kitwe to Mufulira and Ndola to Mufulira? Then we have got an underground town which we can turn into a tourist resort.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what my father would say? Ubongo.
You see the point? Then it can also be a transport system.
Mm-hmm.
Because underground there, you use that railway from Ndola to where it was going, and it passes near Kitwe. So you open at Nkana shaft there, Babaka station. Kwatini station ya metro uko America at underground. You see, abantu bafuma.
Mm-hmm.
Abasenda kopa yesukulu batakuchi 10 punch.
It's very true.
Money for that. And you start, if those people you want to come, you come and tell them, there we have in Zambia a city underground, provincial life underground. These the environmental people, they will clap for us and give us millions for having solved that problem of
environmental. They need to pay you $1 million, Dr. Mbewe, for this.
You need to be on the next town planning meeting.
Yeah.
Do you know that that is nature? Second law of thermodynamics. Nature does not allow for a vacuum.
No.
Where you have taken away, put something back.
Yes.
If you don't, nature will react in a savage way.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the desert. No water.
Yeah.
There from your mind, copper ore, put back. What are you going to put back? Soil. To close that gap.
The gap, yeah.
Since you are not putting up anything, nature will start closing up itself using what are known as tectonic forms, forces. Then chadirika mayanda kontwanta kumufulira chadirika mayanda okuno okuyaliambako okongama. Why? It's nature simply reacting to those holes you left there.
Yeah, exactly.
So filling them up, we've got so many mining engineers who worked there. They even know where those routes are going. They even know how to connect them.
Mbewe, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I said, somebody spending thousands of dollars, $50 is not a saving. You're wasting your time. It's a source of income.
But show him something attractive. And now let me finish your question. I know time is going. Let me finish your question. Let me finish your question. So what is the future for Zambia? Zambia today has got no option but to create jobs or to come up with something innovative that will be the driving force of our economy. You look at Finland with their Nokia and coming up with mobile phones, right? But how did the Samsung come and beat Nokia? Because they simply changed the way things are done.
Yes.
Nokia was pressing, Samsung started swiping. And it swung everything to the extent that Nokia starts complaining, we didn't do anything wrong. Our marketing was excellent. Our product was the best bought product, but we went down. Why? Because we were not dynamic to see that the world is moving away from pressing to swiping. What is Zambia doing like that? Something that will be real original. That is research and development, which we don't have. Okay,
no.
Let's cross that route. Maybe we go to the route of value addition to our agricultural products before we export them. So don't export maize to Malawi, instead export milimi. Frozen chickens are coming all the way from Brazil to Namibia and by truck to Kasumbalesa. Haramba! You mean we can't freeze the chicken here in Zambia to take to Kasumbalesa? Because the Brazilians are doing it cheaper that they can afford to transport it that way and reach Kasumbalesa. Let's put up tariffs on those trucks which are passing through Zambia. Where are they going to move? Some will post that, hey, we shall go through Namibia, then pass through Angola, then come to Congo. Okay, go and make. We shall see whether you make a road or a rail and how much will it cost.
Wow. Follow us on YouTube, ZBTR TV, and on Facebook. We are Zambia Blog Talk Radio. I almost forgot a special announcement. Beginning this Wednesday, I'm starting a show with a dynamic, amazing young lady. Her name is Tenai, and the show is called Conversations with Tenai. Don't miss that show. It will be amazing. You'll be blown away what she has to say. Dr. Mbewe, thank you.
Can I be rude as usual? Who the hell is
that? You will have to wait and see. Watch the show on Wednesday.
Encourage me to come and listen, my dear.
It's important. Hey, it will relate to you because you lived in Poland for 30 years, right?
Yes.
And you had kids born and brought up there, and she's going to be talking about all these cultural dynamics and challenges.
Okay.
That's okay. I've given away a little bit of what we'll be talking about.
No, but that's good. People should know.
Yes.
Tell me what are we going to do?
You remember in Zambia, we used to go to Mukambo to buy it.
Vanessa, I'm changing mentors.
It's okay.
Bravo, thank you.
It's all right. If you have Mbewe, once every time I have him here, it just messes up things. Kasulova has joined this camp. You have joined this camp. Temlando. Kundola. Babushe kundola bali shwana sente feyala. Takuwa ni sente kundola.
That's funny.
Derek, ushekwa li sente kundola. Takuwa li sente kundola. While vechi refinery kulia so venandole bali chongololo ba copper belt. It's okay. All right.
Don't cut. Center chive. Omate. No matter try show what it is. In try lesson chemical engineering. That's copper ore comes in two ways: copper oxide and copper disulfide. CuS2. Then in the copper disulfide, sulfur dioxide comes out. It becomes sulfur trioxide with water, so dilute sulfuric acid yamba kokocha mona na malangs.
Kaviri vachafamba milangi ati vari verenga otubhuku.
Introduction to chemistry wali kwete po ile ya green.
Atishane abote.
Not about ya physics. Yeah, chemistry, introduction to chemistry.
It was Lambert. Was that the name of the
book? Lambert.
Lambert. Vamona Kasuluba vachafa veva milangi ati vari verenga tu chemistry.
Kasuluba ishva Maximilian, ewa ishva. Ta ishva bot na Lambert. Ishva Maximilian, ta ishva na KK Foundation.
At least 99 year womfyako.
Dr. Mbewe, on a serious note, I do thank you. I know you're a very busy person and you've got a lot of things going on your side. Thank you, my friend.
Yes, thank you very much. The pleasure is mine. Always ready to share my ideas with people. At the same time, I enjoy sitting with other Zambians, especially you guys who are sentimental there in the diaspora. Don't make the mistake which I made of coming back here.
Kuwelela kwisa.
Kuzambi.
Twakula tumempie fofini mule chitovunga.
Mwatitumira kufafini chikurubulechi.
Palatu matatu.
Nkolelwa, is this your sister Kasulova?
Yes, she is.
Well, I've enjoyed listening to Dr. McEwin. Nivakopa lakiki. Jachi nenkulelwa, vanao monati vakumasala kulubutu ava. Vale te dies pachidankya. Okay.
Ngavakumona vambuya kuponoke yode.
Very fun.
Twakuishokulanda mwevantu. There's a lot
enjoying
my story.
All right, my friend. Have a good weekend. Thank you, everybody. Join me on Wednesday with tonight.
See you in Dallas.
See you.
Do you want to promote your business on Zander Broad Talk Radio? Yes, that's right. Live on Zander Broad Talk Radio. To book your spot, just make a donation by picking from the following categories. To get started, just call or WhatsApp the number on the screen and you'll be good to go. Live on Zander Broad Talk Radio every Saturday for 1 full month. And it will stay on the recorded shows.
Zambia Blog Talk Radio.